certain limitations. However, some extent we have to overcome that hurdles which we generally occurred in the online mode. So they try to sort out that if you have any problem on that. However, you raise your questions if you have anything on the discussion which we are going to be discussed today. So each one of you, I request your active participation as well as the cooperation coordination. So I welcome each one of the participants for this program. So I welcome my students and faculty as well as the research scholars for joining this webinar. Thank you so much. Once again, welcome. So we have Dr.Doreen who has joined now. I welcome you, madam, for this program. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and take part of this today. I strongly believe that you will be a right choice for us to discuss on the topic which you have chosen. So thank you so much for your gesture to take part of this program. I welcome once again. With this, I welcome each one of you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Without the support of the head of the department, nothing is possible. So anything that happens in the department, it's due to the strong leadership of our head of the department. So we thank him for being a strong support to us during all our endeavors. I would like to invite our chief guest for the day, Dr. Jaikumar sir. Dr. Jaikumar sir, I have known him since I have been a student at this department. So he used to come. At that time, he was working at IGCAR as a scientific officer, and he used to take some classes for us on library resources. He used to talk about the databases. So I remember him from that time, and I have seen him as a humble and a very modest person. No matter that he started out as a school librarian, and now he is leading he's leading the library of one of the leading institutions, leading technological institutions in the country, the Indian Institute of Technology at Roorkee. But still, he's the same person that I knew when I saw him the first time, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy that he has reached great heights, and we have worked together for a very long time. And we have, he's inspired us in many ways. He's inspired us in, in taking on opportunities, in being straightforward, in being modest. So it's not just about the profession, but it's also about the other attributes that make you as a person. So we're really very happy, sir, to have you here, and for all your support for all our activities at any time we conduct it. So thank you so much, sir, for being here. So over to you for the inaugural letters.
Oh, thank you, Professor Fazul, for the wonderful words, for your kind words. I'm really very touched, actually. Thank you, Professor Chandrakumar, and our Professor Perumal, Professor Fazul, for organizing this wonderful program for the benefit of our professional and also the scholars and students. And it's as you mentioned, this Fazul has mentioned, this pandemic has just posed us challenges. Our profession, the library profession, is the one who has just raised the occasion in the beginning within 6 months, and played a vital role in providing the remote services to the scholars, students who are away. And we have proved ourselves. We are there always ready to raise our bars according to the situation. As everybody knows, even though it's a great challenge for us, but it's at the same time, it's an opportunity for us to get into the nuances and then become a master of that. Actually, it is wonderful to participate, that is inaugurate the program by Department of Library and Information Science, University of Madras, my alma mater. And the title what you have chosen is a wonderful, that is coined a nice word, sail. So I just wish the program will benefit our professionals to sail through our profession with applying advanced methods and techniques to reach out to the user community. And also the topic as chosen is highly relevant because social media channels are one of the best suited way for the information professionals to connect with the user community, to propagate our library services and other things. And apart from that, what is that is marketing our library services through making use of social medias and also making ourselves visible to the world, that is the library information world, and to the students. And it will be very useful for connecting with each other and rendering the services. At the same time, I am very confident the working library professionals will be sensitizing the research scholars and faculty how best they can make use of this platform to make themselves visible, right? Because writing papers and getting indexed, I think that itself not sufficient. They have to share their work by all possible means, okay? So that they can use all these platforms, whatever is available in front of them, to just connect with the researchers around the world. And also they have to highlight and make themselves visible and connect with the right contacts so that their research will progress well and their contribution also will reach the society, right? And also I'm very happy to see as a wonderful a team of expert speakers here covering almost all the topics are relevant to library and information professional, starting with Dr.Doreen and Dr. P. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Badan Barman, and also Dr. Shibu and Dr. Sriram, Librarian Second University, then Mr. Patrick Priyadarshan. And it has been wonderfully that is coordinated and organized by Professor Chandrakumar and team. It's a wonderful thing. And as I just mentioned to you, I think apart from applying whatever you are doing already, and I'm very confident that you will learn many new things from the experience of these speakers during this 2-day session, and kindly make use of that. Only equip yourself and make yourself visible and expand your library services by all means, and also train your research scholars. Because now the paradigm shift has happened. Earlier, no library used to provide only the academic support, right? And now every institution is concentrating more on research and innovation, right? For that, we should act as a backbone and we should give a helping hand. That is, we should hold the hand of the scholars and young faculty to walk through their research or innovation journey, right? And another thing is whatever, and one thing I want to share with all the scholars and our professionals, you are wonderful. You should feel like that actually. Now you are being provided with a lot of challenges and tools in hand. Please take it in your hand, put it in use, and reach out to the user community with personalized reference services. And also, I also request all the professionals to specialize and equip yourself and make yourself visible not only to the users, and make your service visible to the management, because you have to be a supporting means, because this visibility is not only limited to scholars and faculty. It's very important for the organization. In that aspect, actually, library professional, we have to play a vital role by making our institute or organization visible to the entire world by various activities and ways and means, making use of all these social media platforms. And also, I request, let us not confine to, once we get educated and this one, let us not confine only to library profession that's working in the library. The area is wide open. Now, people in institutes, major, especially academic and research institute, they need information professional to play a vital role in their academic activities, in their research groups, in their innovation labs, in their patenting or copyright or whatever is administration they are doing. So you should find a place. You are capable of serving any areas where the information handling and research activity is going on. So just keep your options open, wide open. Because with my few years experience at the Management Institute at Mohali, I'm very confident that the information professional, the youngsters, when we got into library, they got a placement in academic research department. Then some of them have gone to research group, that is research dean's offices, and they play important role as a that is teaching assistants for the most of the faculties. Because our profession our students understand the nuances of information handling, and also the scientific communication, scholarly communication process. They know what is what about copyright limitations and permission, many things. And also they are the masters of the resources. They can identify the right resource. So my sincere request would be, please make use of this 2 days program and more interactive. Whatever arsenal you have got already equipped, kindly just try to learn something new from the resource persons. Try to put those into application, and kindly raise your bar. And you are wonderful. Once again, I'm telling, I take this opportunity to thank the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Madras, Professor Chandrakumar, Professor Fazul, Professor Perumal, and also all the wonderful resource person lined up for the 2 day session. I wish the program very best. Thank you very much, professors. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful time. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging and supporting us. Thank you so much, sir. So without much ado, I think we will go on with our first session. So we have our speaker for the day. And to introduce our speaker, may I now call Ms. Janita.
Content doesn't win. Optimized content wins. I'm very glad to introduce our first speaker of the event, Dr. Doreen. She is the founder and director of Computational Intelligence Research Foundation. She received her B.Tech in Information Technology from Madras University, Chennai. Completed ME in Computer Science and Engineering from Anna University and Ph.D. in Computer Science and Engineering from Anna University. Her research interests include parallel and distributed computing, peer-to-peer computing, grid computing, cloud computing, and big data analytics. Previously, she worked as professor and head at Loyola ICAM College of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Information Technology. Assistant professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. She also worked as an associate professor at the Department of Computer Science, Anna University, Chennai, and assistant professor at the Department of Information Technology, Assistant College of Engineering, Chennai. She's published more papers in international and national journals and conferences. She is a life member of Indian Society for Technical Education, ISTE. She is a reviewer for Computer and Electrical Engineering Journal and Future Generation Computer Science Journal. She has been the resource person for a lot of workshops on digital classroom, big data analytics using Hadoop, data science using Python, machine learning, deep learning, cognitive computing, software testing, blockchain technologies, cyber security, and cyber forensics. Ma'am, thank you for accepting our invite in spite of your busy schedule, and Dr. Doreen will now deliver a lecture on social media analytics, what and why. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Janita. I hope you're able to hear. Can you show me a thumbs up if you're able to hear my voice? Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I would like to thank the University of Madras, especially the Department of Library and Information Sciences, for having invited me for this webinar on social media analytics, what and why, for the 2 days workshop on sale. So social media analytics, especially for information and library professionals, it's too good. And I would like to thank the head of the department, Dr. V. Chandrakumar sir, and the coordinator for Zuluniza ma'am, and Janita, and the entire wide spectrum of faculty members, the research scholars joined in the session today. So this name, social media, is not new. Those who can open up your cameras, I kindly request you to open up your camera so that we will have a kind of face-to-face interaction. All right? Those who could open up your cameras, you can open up your cameras. So it's good to see you all. Yes, thank you all. Yeah. So every time when I come online, I say people kindly open up your cameras so that we could see, and it's like a face-to-face interaction. So throughout my session, right? So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And as the inaugural address speaker who spoke was so brilliant, right? Dr. Jayakumar sir, right? No, from IIT Rukela, right? He was speaking on research and innovation, every institution, right? I being a UG student, PG student, research student, I've spent most of the time in library, but now all into digital library. I'm a person who used to read at least 20 papers per week, not into papers, research publications, you know. So that is the thirst we have, and many people are into it. So before we start with the day, the session will be an interactive session. As and when I ask question, I request all the participants, underline the word all the participants, to give your answers on the chat. Or if you feel like, you can also unmute and speak. Right? I know you are also brilliant and you're smart and you are wonderful. How are you today? Can I have the quick answers on the chat? How are you today? A word answer is also is okay. Yeah, fine. Thank you. Thank you, Guru Raja sir. Thank you, Krishnamurthy sir. Yes, thank you, Janita. Super good. Pavitra, great. Janisha, good. Janisha, fine. Great, good. Yes, thank you, Sudhakar sir. John sir. Nice. Yes, Sankita ma'am. Gomati ma'am. Yeah. Ujjal. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm Amrita ma'am. Prabhu sir. Fantastic. Fine. Good. Solomon sir. Vijaya Bharati sir. Yes. Sorry, ma'am. From Arun sir. Yes, please. Everybody. Kindly keep your cameras on. Yes, Samson sir. Mariam ma'am. All right. All good. Fine. Everybody answered. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. What about you, ma'am? Thank you, Arun sir. The first person. Can you see the same data? The same data. I just asked how are you, but the responses are different. As being a librarian, each of them, they will. I hope you all should have experienced a physical library, like how people come to you, how you approach you. Because as you say, it's a librarian science, and now most importantly, we need to equip yourself on data science. I think even before computer came into existence, right? The database. Who was first handling database in many of the institutions? Which department was maintaining something called as a database before a content management system, everything came into existence? You can unmute and speak, or you can put your answers on chat. Go back before 10 years, 15 years. Which department was having a database? Library, exactly said Janita, right? That time database, only the system, the librarian, when we ask for a book, he will just search it on with the tag and then he says the book is available. Or we have a system where I have experienced many times, I key in for a particular book, is it there available or which shell, and then it's right. So you have got a lot of things to learn with patterns of data. Do you agree with that? The patterns of book, you don't arrange something like that. Learning patterns of data is that you have been doing it. Now we are moving from a physical world into a digitalized world. Okay, from a physical world to a digitalized, and every time, right, during this pandemic, and myself and my husband, he's working in a college. I was also working in a college for a decade in different designation. Then I started this company called Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, where basically we work on the research and development and train faculties, students, and corporates. 5,000 faculties we have trained during the pandemic, because many faculties, they don't know how to teach using the systems or on the digital teaching, and we are successful. It's a grace and mercy of God, and many of them are now into digital teaching. Before, students used to, when they come late, they used to say, ma'am, it is late, ma'am, because there was traffic. Nowadays people started saying everything, why you are not coming, ma'am, there's network traffic. All right, so people keep changing. All right, now we are moving on into how far the social media analytics is much needed. All right, as a librarians, right, for your professional especially. Hope you're able to see in my screen. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, We are going to have some demo sessions, some running of, don't get worried, it's programming. Yes, if you are able to handle large amount of, I think librarians are the one who work with huge amount of data, that you are doing a big data analytics, and wherein learning these concepts is very, very simple, and we have been successful in training many people, right? So as a librarian, okay, as you are a library professional or you are a professional in library sciences, what skill, I want just one skill that you say that is much needed for a librarian, or to be a popular library or a successful library. You can just one word. You can unmute and speak, or you can just one word. What's management skill exactly said? Accessible, communication, okay, communication. Others? Just one skill, user friendly, according to your own view, which is more important that you think. IT, exactly said Pavitra. Communication, two of you are saying communication. The only way that we could see, also the organizers could see how many of them are really into the talk and how far you interact, right? Is understanding very well. Understanding. What about others? Patience. Yes, patience. Coping. Coping up. Coping. Coping up with things. Patience, understanding. Yes. So, these are some skills that we literally need to have. You're remembering skills. Yes, exactly said. Understanding, so many things. Thank you all for your responses. So coming, as this pandemic was not able to affect the academics of the students, and because you are able to serve to larger community of people, all right, and now we are going to see what are the different platforms wherein, as a librarian, or you have your department library or institution library, where you will be able to get into it, right? What are the technologies that you need to equip yourself? Like only one person said that you need to have an IT. Yeah, that is much needed. Before we start with the session, we are going to play a very quick game. Okay, can you see a picture here? You need to read the color of the word, but not the word. Okay, the word is blue. You should not read it as blue, rather you should read it as red, not yellow, but blue, not black, but yellow, like red, blue, yellow. Okay, you have to read it from the first to the last. Okay, and you have to again go from last to the first. You'll be given 30 seconds of time. At the end of it, you can share your experience on the chat, or one of you can unmute and share your experience. Is it clear?
Yeah, maybe we can do that, ma'am. We can ask one of our participants to unmute and try it out.
No. Everybody have to be muted. Everybody should read. At the end of 30th second, any one of you could share your experience. Okay, not this. Don't think that I'm going to give this. I'm going to give you a new slide. That is not the same as this. All right, here we go. Okay, I hope you'll be able to see it. We'll start off. Yeah. You have to read it from the first to the last, and from last to the first, not the word, but the color of the word. Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay. How was it? You can share your experience on chat, or one of you could, interesting. Okay, one of you could share what was your feeling when you read it. Was it easy? Anyone? I did it. Thank you, Pretty. All right. The YouTube was delayed. The timer got delayed. All right. Okay. You have done it. What is your experience? How far? How did you experience it? Was it easy for you to read the word within a stipulated time? No relevant to name and color. Yes, no relevant to name and color. And what was your mindset? Was it confusing? Need a lot of concentration, little challenging, got confused. All right. Yes, even the same thing is the mindset. It was good. Concentration is needed. First, our eyes notices the word rather than the color. Exactly, said Gomati ma'am. The first, our eye notices the word than the color. Little bit confused. Oh, most of you said you need concentration. All right, you need concentration. Same thing is much more needed on social media analytics. Sometimes things need to confuse, but how far you're going to take it up. That's more important. Okay. Thank you all for your good answers. So when you come into social media analytics, it's the ability to gather and find meanings in data gathered from social channels to support business decisions, right? So when you are in a physical library, you know your territory, you know the content of books that you have, you rather know the location of books, and people drive those who wants to read the book. They come to the library. Then if they are newcomers, they come you and ask you where and how you want to organize, or you have a software which tells you everything. But what happens in social media analytics? In social media, we post, right? Through how you get so much of information. As you got up from the morning, what was the first application you used in your mobiles, on your systems, or first application you opened? WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp, Google, so many things. Yeah, WhatsApp, Spotify, Facebook. But see, what is your objective? You need to make your library visible to the people who are intended. First and foremost, you need to know who are your audience, and wherein you have to make your presentation and make it visible. All right. So even today's talk is a very great example. I don't know about Fazul ma'am. I know I post all my events. Even this session, I'm streaming onto my YouTube channel. Every event I stream onto my YouTube channel. And ma'am, somewhere or the other, she found my name on LinkedIn. I made it visible. She was able to pick me up for a resource person today. Same thing, where you're going to speak, you need to have an intended audience where you want to present yourself. All right, you are an intended audience about library. You are working on library science. So what I'm speaking on the language of library, you'll be able to understand. If I'm going to speak something on research and analytics or very deep, it will be much difficult. All right, everybody, you said, most of you, as you got up in the morning, these are the different Twitter, Spotify, YouTube. And first and foremost, being a librarian or in the library science department, you should know where you should speak, what you should speak, how you should speak. Whether the participants or the audience are able to understand your language. If I'm going to speak in French now, I don't know how many of you can understand. Same thing, right? Measure the performance. We need to measure it. I will show you a demo of how we will be able to analyze the content posted onto it. I tell you, right, the next 5-10 years, if you don't know about data science, if you don't know about analytics, any department you belong to a commerce department, you belong to a science and humanities department, you belong to any department in your job or professional, this is going to be quite challenging, because data science will be incorporated into all the streams right now. So that is the best time library people have taken, right? The University of Madras has taken, okay, to support business. Every business has got a decision. You take sales, you take schools, you take colleges, you take universities, wherever you take marketing like Amazon, Flipkart, everybody, right? How many of you have seen when you buy something in Amazon, people who have bought this product have seen this also? How many of you have seen it in Amazon or Flipkart? Yes? Yes, no? Yes, seen it. Thank you. And when you read or when I download papers in Elsevier, okay, how many of you have used Elsevier? You should have definitely used, yes. Elsevier journals, paper downloading on Elsevier journals, yes. When I download a paper in Elsevier, onto the right, I will get something called papers related to the paper what I'm downloading, something onto the right. What is that? What is that all about? What is that all about? It is called a recommendation system. Okay, and when you want to make you visible, you know what is your audience, what they are interested in, and a good recommendation system should be onto your digital library. Then it will expand and then it reaches more people. And because everybody, what are the kind of readers in your library that you have experienced? What are the kind of reading kind of type of people that you have experienced? Can I give it in one? Can you give me in one word answer on the chat? Just waiting for your answers. All right. What are the kind of people? What kind of sections they read a lot, or what? Yeah, see, and also cataloging, demanding people. No. What kind of books? So yeah, textbooks. Say some read textbooks. What journals? Journals, some people come and read for journals, reference books, magazines, yeah, some come for fictions, magazines. So when you become you are an experienced, right, competitive exam preparation, you know, after some times when you know the particular person comes, before the person drives into the location of that, he or she is going to pick a book, whether you know that that is the book that she's going to go to that section. Initially, first interaction you will not know, maybe after 2-3 months, whether you'll be able to judge the participants or the members of your library which section they will drive to. That is how you learn the patterns of it. Because you're physically meeting them, but once it comes to the digital library, all right, you need to have a recommendation system. By the words they read it, pick it up and recommend what are the things that they are needed. Like when you use, I have experienced a lot when I read Elsevier journals, right? The particular journal, whatever I'm going to read on a particular title, and it shows me 2 or 3 papers people who read. This could be a recommendation system. So understanding how market is used, social data, right? Understanding your target audience. Yes, please. Okay, maybe I don't know. So first you should understand whom you're speaking, whether it is an internal audience. Develop creative content. Can you see here how many different colors? Creativity is more important, that attracts people to capture it. How many of you have seen ads on on YouTube or Facebook? Have you seen any ads? Sometimes you search for something, right? You don't even log in. I tell you, the security reason is I have given talks on cyber security and cyber attacks, but I'm not going to speak about now. You search for something even without logging to your Gmail. Maybe you want to buy a sofa, or you want to read a book, and once you log into Gmail, how many of you have seen the ads popping onto your right? Anybody has experienced it? You wonder, I didn't search anything in Google, but I didn't log in also. It captures your information. You should be you should be very safe. Maybe if there is time, I don't know, it is there on my YouTube channel. What are the security settings we need to do it on the social media applications that we use? Okay, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, many things like that. Assess your campaigning performance. You have to assess how much it is reachable. How do you foster connection with your consumers? Okay, support other departments. Measure your ROI. What is the trend that the people are in? What is the trend of research people are going into? Right? What are the competitive insights? Who are your competitors? Right? So social media analytics is becoming very wide popularly now, especially among librarians. That is what even University of Madras has arranged it. But the majority feel it's one of the most important communication tool. I know it. I'm a very regular goer of a library. In my UG, in my PG, in colleges, I go to different universities, British Council, right? So this pandemic, like for the past 2-3 years, I'm not visiting libraries, only the digital libraries. And here, because most of them are providing me the resources, I'm very comfortable at my home, because I said in the standard, so I read at least 20 research journals per week, research papers per week. Okay, so see here, I'm showing you an example of how many of you have seen this. Are they able to see my screen? I've shared my entire screen. Yeah. So here, this is a university library, okay, of University of Colorado Boulder. All right. Inside intelligence, see how they are using the social media analytics for that, right? How they have been on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, or Reddit, Tumblr, okay, influences, right? Website analytics, I'm going to show you a demo of my website. What are the Google trends? What are the statistics? How many people have used? Social media analytics, all right? And how can you cite things? Can you see? If you want, you can click on and you can chat with the librarian. See, they are reachable. Initially asked what, or is it an APA format, or what style, on blog, on Twitter, how will you cite the journal publication? So these things are most important. And as initially on the inaugural address, the professor said, you can connect with like dean of research office, how people could say, when I do my publication, I want that to be visible. If I go into Google Scholar, okay, if I go into Google Scholar, if I type my name, I want my publication to be visible. All right. If I go into Scopus, okay, if I go into Scopus, I want my research article to be visible. All right. How you make people to be visible, how it has been cited, if it is on 2-3 things, like as librarians, you can play a vital role. Okay. So this will tell me what are the kind of publications. I'm on ResearchGate, so many things, right? Can you see how many has been cited? So coming into social media analytics, what are the skills? Don't worry, it's difficult. No, it is not difficult. Only thing, if you have a dedication and passion, you'll be able to do it. It's one of the most important communication tool for librarians. How are libraries using social media? Which channel are regularly based? Whether you're age less than 34, or the huge population on Instagrams, like Facebook, on Twitter, right? And planning policy, 28% of librarians have implemented social media policies. 30% are planning to introduce a policy. 42% have no plans for the policy. 75% of librarians schedule social media posts ad hoc. It's not being you have to be categorizing it, right? What are the opportunities and challenges for librarians using social media? All right, make users aware of library. You have to make it that there is a library, digital library. What is the resource? Maybe before your exams, the students have a trend of coming and learning something like books. You can make it visible for the students. That makes your website or your digital library visible, not only for your university. When you come into social media, you can make it visible for a wide spectrum of people. All right, you want to raise the professional of the library, or whatever, you want to collaborate with other departments of other organization. What, so many things, you have got opportunities, you've got challenges. All right. And how you should have always a strategy to find how many people are using, how are they using, how far your library has been used. Overall social media marketing strategy, it's a digital marketing kind. And we at CIRF, we provide courses. If you want to make yourself equipped to be a very good librarian marketing person, you can approach us. We will teach you how to work on with it. Facebook, how do you market on Facebook? If you don't have internet audience on Facebook, then it is worthless doing it on Facebook. All right. Instagram, how do you market your products or your books or new launches? You can also earn money on it. All right. Twitter marketing strategies. I'm going to show you something about the sentimental analysis of using Twitter. LinkedIn marketing. See, LinkedIn was the one which connected me and Fazul man today. Make it visible, make your library visible. All right. So essential, what are the trending words that they're going to use? All right. 77.91 billion people of the total population who are using it. Okay. Unique phone mobile users, internet users. All right. So entire active social media users. Can you see almost 50% of people of the entire world? This big data analytics has emerged a very important research. How many of you have heard this word, something called big data analytics, or you're using big data analytics? The massive amount of data that every day what happens in social media, right? Like 2020, the volume of data was 44 trillion gigahertz that is on YouTube. All right. And when you come here, 1 million, what happens in internet? 1 minute, 1 million logging, 45 minutes of videos are watched in YouTube around the world in 1 minute and 60 seconds. Snapchats, swipes, scrolls, Instagram scrolls. Can you see? Netflix, email sent on Facebook and Messenger mail sent. How many requests that hits the Google? Everything in 60 seconds. How many people are on Twitter on every minute? 87,000, all right? And 4.8 gives. How many apps are being downloaded? Everything happens in 60 seconds. And the most widely used popular net on 20, it is Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, but whatever it is, as being a librarian, you should know who's your intended audience, how far you make yourself visible. That needs quite a good research. Okay, so you need to have a data analysis. Once you do an analysis of data, how far it is being reached, how many people are there, how many of them are reaching you, are they coming back to your website, are they seeing your website, in your website what are the pages they traverse to, then you can keep your presentation more focused onto it. Are you able to get me, yes or no? Able to get me, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That's more important. That's more important. In social media, how are you going to connect with people? How are you going to generate offers? How are you going to catch your audience? Not only catching the audience, trailing or traveling the audience along with you is the most important job. Once you hit the correct market, then you are successful. Then you are successful. So big data, I said, right? How huge volume of data every minute. Imagine how YouTube can. Is anytime have you found that YouTube has been crashed? 45 million people watching YouTube, uploading just in a minute. That is the strength of big data analytics, right? Okay, now listen to this video very carefully. What are the benefits of social media big data analytics? At the end of it, I want all the participants to post some words on the chat that catches your mind. I repeat, it's a very simple video of less than 1 minute. Listen and view this video very carefully. This video is all about the benefits of social media big data analytics. What are the words that catches your mind? I want that to be posted onto the chat. Is it okay? Here we go. Are you able to hear the voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You can tell me.
This social media analysis, big data analytics, is a very powerful tool. More and more companies and corporations and businesses are venturing into this to ensure that they are competitive. We tapped into different social media from Twitter, Flickr, public Facebook pages. We even tapped in the Chinese Weibo's. Using this social media, we can identify not just the sentiment, is it positive, negative, or neutral, and we can identify as well where from are people talking. And using this data with the space and time, correlate with the weather, for example, of rain, and age-specific vocabulary, we can predict with very high accuracy how many people will be at certain location tomorrow. And that's very important for tourism and retail as well, to have that information to run the business.
Okay. Able to hear the audio of the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you. What are the words that catches your mind? That caught your mind when you saw the video? Sentiment and analysis.
Sentiment, analytic,
Yeah.
positive, negative.
And he said not only positive and negative, he was able to correlate data. Thank you. Sentimental analysis, it's a tool for response and prediction. You imagine if you have a tool like this, how many people are visiting a digital library? What are the pages they're seeing your more? Who are the most visitors repeated? The statistics, the predictions, a powerful tool. Yes, these are things that are much needed for to be in your social. Then only we'll be able to change the path and reach to the target audience. It cannot come in one day. It takes time to learn, scroll data, right? It's not only positive or negative. Trying to understand the need, relationship. Thank you. Understanding the relationship. Okay, if you see in this video, you can see something called word cloud, there's a graph, and you can find the intensity. And also because it's throughout the world, you can find from which location, who are the people who are trying to use your from through which platform, either it's from the Twitter or from your Facebook or from your Facebook page or from your Instagram page, how you are able to do it. All right.
This social
What are the marketing tips, social media marketing tips for libraries, right? Improve the usage, promote your books and collections on your social media platforms. Make them more aware of what offer you're going to give, what are the books, what are the resources that you have, the richest resources on your library. Measure the impact. You can use Google Analytics. I'm going to show you about now a demo of Google Analytics of my company's website, cirf.co.in. All right. Facebook statistics, how many people visited your page. Okay, you have got a lot of statistics onto that. How far you can work well and get into the engagement. You have to choose your right platform. You have to identify the most important, the basement is you have to identify your target audience. All right, which channel they spend time, which research online do they use some work on different demographics. Okay, half of Instagram users, like 50% of Instagram users are under 34. Mark, you have to do a research. That's what these analytics will help you to gain insights about you. Okay, adapt a social media policy. I told you, right, this word, libraries have adapted social media policies. Some of them they have not adapted, some of them have adapted, some of them are planning to adapt. I tell you 100% you need to adapt it. Okay, and make your job easier. Okay, makes your job easier on social media platform. You can work at home and it's free and easy to use with Hootsuite. Okay, which is the most popular with the life. How many of you have used Hootsuite? Yes, followed by TudeDeck and Figly. Anybody has used Hootsuite? Yes, no? Answers on chat. Yes means type Y, no means type N. Yes? Yes, no? No. Okay, it's for a social media platform. It has got free and most of the libraries then use. Okay, they use it. Okay, what details you have and how you'll be able to coordinate all with that. All right. Okay, so free to use social media. It is called a social media management platform. Okay, and you can make a note of it. And we don't have much time. Let me see what is the best that we could do. All right, and plan your content. Planning is more important. Okay, what is the content on a social media calendar that you want it? You can also save it, and you can also self-generate it at particular time. It will keep launching onto it. Okay, what are the varied content should be varied. All right, for then if it is exams are around the season, then share resources what is needed for the students. All right, you have in universities, you have got the richest faculty members. Try to get work from them. Try to prepare materials, post it under your college banner or your university's banner, that you will be able to do it. As well as posting your own content, interact with the content of others. Okay, blogs, and students should be very active. Students tend to be very active on social media, and librarians have embraced popular platforms as communication and networking, not only in your college and also in others. Websites such as YouTube are gathering more information. Library services can use social media platforms for specific materials and collection to educate well. Okay, you can share your pictures and other content in a good way, letting know what's your library is up to. I'm going to show you about certain libraries now. Okay, this can be a specific event. All right, social media, develop a social media strategy to follow. This will help your channel, right? Focus on activities, what you're aiming for, to who is your author, awareness about library, what are the unique thing that none of the libraries that you have. Okay, so but everything to do, the most important, that various faculties of library staff should be trained. How are you going to post? Because if I'm going to do a post on Instagram, it has different dimension. If I want to post it on Facebook, it's on a different dimension. If I'm going to make a YouTube thumbnail, that's a different dimension. If I'm going to make a YouTube channel art, that's a different dimension. Training is more needed. Training is more needed, and what content you need to know. Now we are going to go in about Google Analytics. Okay.
Ma'am, can I just stop you for a minute, if you don't mind? If you can just tell us, keep it on, you're talking about social media strategy. What kind of strategy can they appoint, or you can just focus a little bit on what strategy we can have, or how can you frame a strategy?
A strategy
to be visible on social media. Any points or something if you can just give us?
So the strategies, right? What you need to follow. You need if you're going to, for example, if you're going to use a digital website, how are you going to, what are the content that you need to have? First, plan for it. I'm going to ask you a question, whether every library is unique or they are different. Can I have the answers on chat? Unique, give U. Different, then you give D. Every is unique. You go to a shop. You go to a new shop, you don't know. If you're going to buy dresses, how does the shopkeeper or the person on the section, how do they invite you? What do they do? If you're going to a shop, you want to buy a dress, you go to the section of the dress. How do they present the dresses to you? What do they have? Can one of you unmute and speak? Yes, please. How does this shopkeeper speak to you? I know everybody would have experience. Everybody will buy dresses or ornaments or whatever it is. How do they speak? They tell the price range and they say in the entire world, their shop has got the best. Yes, they try to market their products using unique words. Same thing when you come into social media. Keep your words don't have like more words on your websites, more words on your posts. That is first thing on to have a social media strategy is you should plan what you need to, not only for a day, at least for a month. And everything should be of varying type. And keep your words very less. And you should be trained on what, where, how, and what time you need to post it out during examination time. If there is a competitive exam coming, then you post on materials that in your library you have got these competitive material books. You should know how to balance your time and what is the trend. That is the baseline of social media. Your post should be related to the trend that is going on, wherein the librarian should be equipped what is happening around. If it is a starting of the semester, if you're going to post any resource materials of study materials, whether the students will be attracted or during the exam times, the students will be attracted. Please feel free to unmute and speak, or you can put your answers on chat. Yes, please. Yes. Hello. Able to hear me? During exams, right? So these are some trends that you need to know. With the trends only, you need to prepare your strategy. How are you going to do? And then you need to have few words. Don't have more words, have more pictures, which attracts the audience to capture it on social media, drive it to your website. Yes, thank you. Okay, now we move on into a Google Analytics. Okay, so this is the Google Analytics that I've set it for my company. Okay, you can see here CIRF website data. There are something called onto the left. You're able to see my screen, Google Analytics screen. Yes. One of you can unmute. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
So I can see if I'm going to see audience, if I'm going to see audience, and if I'm going to click an overview, okay, I can know how many, how for the past 1 week or what I'm going to do, whatever I've given, how many people have visited my website. Can you see here down by which country the people are visiting website? And can you see like India was the most, then US, then Indonesia, then Turkey? What are the devices the people join using mobiles? All right. So this gives me an insight. How far is my website visible for people? The same thing if you have got a digital library. Can you see from February 24th to March 2nd? Can you see there are more new visitors, almost 123, and there are 8 returning visitors. And I can see from which country, all right, how many sessions, all right. And then if I want to change, say for example, I want to know how from Jan till now, how people are visiting my website, then I'll get everything on my graphics. Can you see 685 new uses? Okay, so from which country people have seen, and in specific from which city. I don't do anything, it is all on the social media, only my website, only my website. And also I can see so many things, right? How many people or which section, which page. So I can see throughout this year I had 685 new visitors and set of 65 returning visitors to my website. This wherein I can find how much reachable, what browser, so many things, what are the technology, what is the behavior, everything I'll be able to get it out. All right. Now if I'm going to click on real time, okay, if I'm going to click on real time, if I'm going to click overview, first I went into audience. Now but you need to know how do you have to create a website or a digital library, okay, and then only we'll be able to find how far I'm reachable to people around. Like I can see there's one person now visiting my website and he's from Chennai. I quickly want everybody, okay, I'll put it onto the chat, the website www.cirf.co.in. I want you all to quickly click the link and open it. This is for a demonstration. This is a live website. I'm not doing anything. And I want people using your mobiles or whatever that you use. Kindly click it on. Can you see the number is getting increased? And some 67% are using desktop and 23% are using mobile. And I could see one person is from Kolkata, one is from Nilambur, like 11 of you are from Chennai. Yes. Can you see the power of social media analytics right now? And only 14 of you are on the home page, and only one person has moved into people page. Can you one have moved into in-plan training pages? Yes. Can you keep moving into different pages? Yeah, interns. Like 16 of you are here, 16 of you on the home page, and each four are into different pages. And now I can see even one person from Hyderabad, 2 from Jaipur, 16 from Chennai. Okay. And people, as and when you move, it keeps changing. The social traffic, referrals, 25 people. 25 people are right now. Out of 93 participants, 25 people have logged in, 27. Yeah, some of you are moving into different pages, training sessions, people, interns. Our website is going through a development phase because after August 2020, I didn't find time to update my talks, but you can check all my talks on YouTube. All right. Can you find it out? Yes. From Coimbatore, there are 3 people. Hyderabad, Chennai 24-1. And as and when you move to different pages and people move to different pages, it will automatically, first initially also you should have thought how it is possible. But once you really experience it, then only you'll try to understand. I'm not doing anything. It is the part. It makes you more events could be automized. More events could be automized. All right. Okay. How do you feel? Whether you are able to understand or feel the power of social media analytics without much strain? Yes, no? Yeah, I got from Kavita ma'am, yes. From Janita, yes. Yes. This is a, can we get the data about the people who are having problem in accessing the website? Those who are accessing the website will be able to get it. And also from which location, what is the traffic sources, okay, and many things. Mostly it all picks up the data. Like I can see like 50% are in your mobile and 50% are in your desktop, and out of 90 participants, 33 have 93 participants, 33 are into it. All right. Okay, this is how social media is so powerful. It is so powerful. Okay, so we saw a demo of Google Analytics. What are the different analytics that you need to know? Basically, there are 4 types of analytics, right? The 4 types of analytics. In all these analytics, you're going to learn patterns from data. Then you'll try to understand how you'll be able to use it for your library business or whatever it is, right? Or whatever it is. All right. So first analytics is first what is your data is all about. Therein where we'll be moving about something called as exploratory data analysis. You visualize with your data onto the different graphs. All right. And then you move on into descriptive analytics. That it is called what happened, what is all your data, if it is in your sales, how many people are visiting your library, what is the most read books, what are the books, what are the resources have been used most, what are the resources has not been used. Okay, first analytics, all these analytics, listen carefully, it is going to learn your patterns of data. Like you know about machine learning algorithm, deep learning algorithm, don't think it's very difficult, it is easy. Before which we used to code, nowadays using Python, you get a lot of packages. Okay, and you are all wonderful faculties or wonderful librarians will be able to do it. First, describe what are the books that you have. Suppose some people come to your library and you've got a big visualization screen. What are the books that you have in your library? What are the categories? What are the books have been used by most of the people? What are the good recommendation books? You cannot do everything as a human, but everything could be done in digital analytics or data analytics. Okay, diagnostics. Why did it happen? Why this particular books are not, people are not using? Why they are using most? And the third analytics is predictive. You predict what is going to, for the next 5-10 years, what will be the trend, what are the books, what are the resources, what are the e-books, what are the journal publications that you need to have. Perspective analysis make it to happen. These 4 analytics are more important. First is descriptive. If you can correlate that, suppose if you have got a fever and you go to a doctor, first I go to a doctor and I explain what I'm having. I've got a cold, I've got a fever. That is what has happened. I speak to a doctor. That is descriptive analytics. Then the doctor diagnoses with his more experience. Okay, why did it happen? What are these symptoms? Then the doctor will ask some question. Is it paining here? Yes, no. Why did it happen? That is a diagnostic analysis. Then he will predict it. If he is not able to do, he'll ask us to go for a blood test or any kind of test. Then he does a predict what will happen. Sometimes they say if you're going to be a pre-diabetic, whether you're going to get a diabetic or not, and prescript, make it happen. So that to prevent disease, what should be done? From information to optimization, from a hindsight to foresight. As librarians, you need to work into perspective. From descriptive analytics to perspective, predictive analytics to perspective analytics. That is what the doctor writes in prescription. You remember? Make it happen. Make your sickness be healed. Amen. Okay, from descriptive analytics, from diagnostic analytics, from predictive analytics to perspective analytics. Able to understand the 4 different types of analytics? How can one of you unmute and say, how can you relate these 4 analytics to your libraries? I give a chance to one of you to unmute and speak. If the site is blocked by McAfee, try to unblock it. So maybe that's your personal restrictions on your system or mobile. Will you please tell how to analyze YouTube posts? Yeah, you can I can also show you YouTube videos or YouTube posts. Yes, before which, as I'm opening it, I want any one of you, the 4 analytics, how can you relate it? Even don't worry if you have done it or not. How can you relate it to your library? What are these 4 analytics? Yes, please. Feel free. You are all intelligent people. Yes, please. Hello.
When there is a type of books that can be related to descriptive analytics.
Okay. So in YouTube, how many of you, anybody has got YouTube channels? From user need analysis to right information provision, exactly said Perumal sir. Yeah. So there you have got something called YouTube Studio, which gives you an analysis of how many people are visiting your website, or how many, YouTube videos, which is the most watched videos. Then from which the subject you'll be, say for example, you have got different faculties from different departments. Then you can find it out from which will be useful for them. All right, and according to that subject you will be able to market it more. That you can see it on YouTube Studio. Okay, maybe for my channel I could show it to you. Maybe so many applications are running, just taking time. Yes, as it is getting loaded, I will show to you. Okay, so when you take it for library, okay, what are the things? Today's information is tomorrow's prediction. Which book? How many of you have experienced some old books? Yesterday's data is tomorrow's prediction. Some books are not being used. So today we are facing with countless questions that how should we invest on this new social media policy? Even people watching this webinar, you will think, is it really needed? Will my library's visibility will increase? Yes. Using bad can lead you to a wrong decision. But this data analytics, okay, how do you think beyond your database or beyond your spreadsheets? Okay, how do you tackle the library? Once you are equipped with technology, I tell you, there will be no university or there will be no organization which can tell you that you cannot be employed. People will come back to you, get employed, and they will take you, or you can start up something new. Okay, and you can make your universities, colleges more visible. Equipping yourself on digital technology is more important. The decision making abilities. Okay, sometimes you go to a very senior librarian to ask whether these books can be bought or not. They come through the experience. These things could be for making effective decision. These tools can be used. Business intelligence for smarter decisions. Okay, how to make your library a better place, how to manage your different things efficiently, how to predict your analysis, what are the books that we need, how can you generate incomes. Okay, leveraging data for business decision, how do you access it, how do you automate it. Now you saw, right, the best example of automation. Yes, you saw the best example of automation, right? All right. Any doubts? Any questions you have till now? And we'll move on to a demo. All right. Able to understand, really it is important in how many of you listen to the talk very carefully. At the end, we are going to play a live quiz. We are going to see some 5 simple questions of multiple choice, which will tell who will be the winner for the day. Okay. Any questions you have on the chat? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes, please.
ma'am, so you spoke about the trend line. So each social media has a separate kind of trend line. How does it come, ma'am? Because each time we see for a particular month, we find one song or one effect to be very much in trending. And the other month, do the social media site itself bring up the trend line, or is it from the user side do they do it?
How far the users? It's from the user side. It's not from social media. They do the analytics of what is more needed or what has been used by the part by for example by the viewers a lot. All right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
It is by the behavior of the users. It's by the behavior of the users. And that the social media will take an analysis and then they bring it to pass. Okay. And that is of the trends, even the dress trends, right? How one influences the other. The dresses are not the same. Each day or each month, the fashion keeps changing. Yes or no? Same way, the trends
Yes.
of people also keeps changing. So we need to find the trending pattern. What is the trending pattern of people who visit your website? What are the pages they see a lot? I don't know. I use like 6 to 7 email IDs per day, so that I have only in one channel. That's what I'm not. It is moving into another mail ID. Okay. That's what YouTube Studio was not opening there. If you cannot open YouTube Studio if you don't have a channel. Okay. So now I can show you. Okay. Okay, this is a data set. Okay, this is a data set of what how many it is about the inferences, right? As Denita has asked, how will you know the trend, ma'am? Okay, she asked, how can you know the trend? So from a social media data set, we need to extract, clean, and we need to know the patterns. We need to know the patterns available. So I've taken a data set. Okay, I've taken a data set where I don't know, I think it's overloaded. Okay, so it has these columns. Can you see? It has got so many columns. Lifetime total, how many likes, how many daily likes, for what content they like, what are the daily pages engaged, weekly pages, 28 days for a month, how do they do an analysis? All right. And these data are taken and I curate it. I extract only what is needed. Number of people who are engaged with your website, how many clicks, how many comments, like how many pages they're engaged, how was our page trend for the month, like as I showed you on Google Analytics. All these could be taken and you can extract it, clean it, and then you will be able to view it. So for this, can you see, like on NaN stands for not a number. We'll be able to drop, okay, if you don't get a number. Like 1/5/2020, how many people have visited? How many new people? Number of unlikes to the page, how many likes? How many? 28 days. Can you see this is one day? Can you see the 20? Okay. So from this, a number of people who had any content, who have posted content, who have not posted content, 28 days. So many things are there in this data set. All right, I've taken a huge data set, which is all the footprints of the social media usage by the behavior. As rightly said by Janita, how do you know the patterns? After you extract information from this, maybe for the past 1 week, for the past few weeks, then you'll be able to generate graphs like this. Okay, daily organic search. Okay, over the time, can you see here how the people are being reached from a simple data set? You visualize it, and then you give emphasize to sections or promote some sections which people have not used. Maybe it's not visible, or you encourage that is more visible. You can increase the more content for what attracts your audience the most. These are some social media strategies. If you want to derive into social media strategies, we have to take insights from our website, and we need to first find what is the trend of people they come into your who see how many monthly users, what is their engagement mode, right? Like this is a descriptive analytics. Daily usage, monthly usage, week, from a huge data set. I'm only going to take, not all the data are not going to be useful for daily engaged users, okay, monthly engaged users, then weekly page per week, total lifetime likes, daily total reach, how far you are getting reached, all right, weekly total reach, and total monthly reach. And also you could have seen something called AdWords. How many of you seen Google Ads? Yes, no? Yeah, that ads is again working with Google AdWords, where you can give some payment to it, and your ad comes onto the top, and if you click it on, then our amount gets decreased, but our impression. And how you know, for election they got campaigns, right? Likewise, you can also have campaigns. These are some major social media strategies that we need to follow to know how far it is reachable. It's not only developing websites, how far it is reachable. And as the trend keeps changing, we also need to change what content of data that people are really in need of. Okay, this is one example. I think website is heavily loaded. Okay, see, this is one website, Donnelly Library, on a Facebook page. Okay, like they need to keep posting dates, data that is needed, time to time. This is one example on a social media page, the library. Can you see here? Like 8 hours before. It's a public library content. We have great books. Can you see here? We have great books, computers and internet and program for kids. And please visit, read, repeat. Taglines are more important. See you at the library. Okay. Checking with the kids. Can you see? 28. They keep posting data every, and some pictures of the library. Can you find? Do you have a Facebook page for your library? Yes or no? Answers on chat. Do you have a Facebook page for a library? And once you have a Facebook page for a library, you can, the owner who created this will have an analytics, how many people have reached, that how I showed you, right? You can have an analytics. So whether this will attract other kids to drag to the library? Yes, no? See, a theater production, how many things, right? So really, it's a powerful tool to make your data much visible. To others, right? To others. So try to have a Facebook page, an Insta page, a Twitter page, and keep posting. Maybe at the initial stage, you will not find it that how is it really useful or people will be seeing it. But as and when you move, right? As and when you move, and it takes time to crawl once your data are being learned, then this is another. I don't know. Yeah, I can show you this website. I hope it will open. Yeah. So here you can have some model websites, okay, where they use different digital social media libraries. Generally my net is fast, but today maybe so many applications are running. I'll try to close a few. Maybe it is taking time to load. Okay. And even this is about Google AdWords. We don't have much time. Maybe sometime later I can show you how the Google AdWords also work. Okay. Now see, this is the Donley Public Library, a few social media libraries, right? Can you see a community library on Instagrams here? And also Twitter. I want to just show you on Facebook, on YouTube page. Okay, on your YouTube page. I'll get my YouTube page on and I can show it to you like that. And then if you want to do a sentiment and analysis from a Twitter page, right, you can take the tweets, you can extract the tweets from the tweets, right? Each two I'm taking into training and testing data sets. All right, you have something, it's a positive or a negative. The student is going to bring positive or negative, for which there is a package that is more needed for especially librarians. It stands for you need to learn something on natural language processing. It's not going to be structured. People are going to type review about your books, the research journals that you give, right? It works on natural language processing. There is a toolkit called Natural Language Toolkit, NLTK. You can make a note if you're making a note of it. Natural language processing start as NLP. NLP, it stands for Natural Language Processing, and the toolkit is called as Natural Language Toolkit. Okay, Natural Language Toolkit for doing a sentimental analysis. What is the opinion of people about your website or your library? Now I showed you about Google Analytics, right? It's not only positive, negative, people are neutral. From your text data, from your customer feedback, from people using the books onto your library, you need to work on definitely on natural language processing. Okay, so for making decisions, for communication, predicting the behavior of people that they comment about, what are the patterns of people, I tell you, you need to learn the patterns. The machine learning algorithms, it makes you to make your statistical model. Sometimes I remember somebody posted the statistical sentiment and analysis is a class of NLP. It stands for natural language, for text analysis and also for statistics. Okay, and also for statistics. Actually, we don't have much time. I'm not going into the details of it, but I can show you a runnable thing, right? So how far the words, okay, what are the words, what are the frequency of the words that has been used, like tweets, at the rate, hashtags, what is the label says whether it's a positive or a negative tweet. Okay, so from the tweets, what is the most frequently used word? See, user, love, day. I have uploaded 2 data sets. Okay, and what is the word and what is the frequency? Okay, and you can use something called word cloud. I will be during the quiz time, I'm going to give you an example of word cloud. Let's see the what is the word used by, what is the most used word? Can you see? Tell me, what is the most used word on the tweets that I've uploaded? User. And how can you relate that user into this word cloud? See, the word that is bigger and which is stronger and bold, it means more people have used the same word. Able to understand? This is something called as word cloud. Okay, these are some visualization which will help us. This is for the positive, negatives, right? And that's for the positive. This is for the negative. Okay, what are the negative words are the most? Okay, and then you have got many packages that we need to learn about it. NLTK, you remember, Natural Language Toolkit, and from there we'll be making into a bag of words. Okay, and term frequencies, how many terms that have been used mostly, and IDF inverse document frequency will be taken. So how many negative, right? So Trump, Obama, so many things. All right. Then use GenSim to convert these words to as a vector form. And then they use TQDM. And I'm not going into the much of it. But at the end of it, use count vectorizer to split it out. It goes more into the technology, but and next time what word is going to come, I'll be able to predict it using different languages, sorry, different algorithms. So this is one simple example of Twitter sentimental analysis. Okay, Twitter sentiment, and how you are going to analyze finding likes, people like your library or they don't like your library, or are they satisfied, what is the kind, or they are not satisfied. So for that we need to classify it as positive tudes and negative tudes. Then you, by using machine learning model, we need to go for classification, especially research scholars are there. You can get yourself trained. Okay, and text analysis, data analysis, and visualization are more important. Like you can talk in any language and you could be able, like Google Siri, how people search even using Google Siri, right? This natural language processing is a hotbed of researchers in data science, especially in sentimental analysis, and thousands of text documents. You are going to work with text documents, that which means sentiment analysis much need for the art. So we need to pre-process and clean your raw data. So it could be tweets, it could be Facebook comments, it could be Instagram content, image files also, right? Explore the clean and extract the numerical features, and finally use these features to train a model and identify the sentiments. Okay, from a real, and you'll be able to identify the sentiments. So here we have taken a simple tweet that I showed you. We are not going deep into it. All right, and some tudes are between how the Americans they like, and they're between the black and the white. All right, and these are the positive tudes, negative tudes, the training and the testing tudes. I'm not going much into it. All right, it goes more technical. So whether you're able to understand the real need of how do you find social media policy is needed for library? Yes, no? Answers on chat? Okay. Okay, absolutely yes. Okay, and in my company also we give training for people, for faculties, for corporates, for students. If any of you are interested to get yourself equipped, you can find. All right, and now I'm going to share a link to you. Okay, just click the link. You can use your mobiles or laptops or whatever it is, but you should give your name. Okay, but you should give your name. You should give your name, and then you have to click it on. Okay, now I'm going to open the link for you. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're able to click it and give in your names. You're getting it?
Ma'am, it's coming as reload.
Reload, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
And please open the quiz, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll open the quiz. So what are the how did you find, what are the things that you learned something new during the session today? I think, yeah, due to now I'll be able to share. Sometimes expect the unexpected. We don't know. It often happens. Yeah, the quiz is now opened, whether you are able to get it. Yes, please. Yeah, 5 of you, 6 of you have joined, 8 of you. Okay, let's start. Thirty-one of you have joined.
Ma'am, we'll go ahead because we'll have our next speaker is almost ready. So
Okay, then.
we'll just go ahead with the quiz.
Okay, otherwise we'll stop. Do you want to have the quiz or we'll stop?
No, we'll finish off with the quiz. I think the
Okay.
quiz will be good.
Okay. Dash is the ability to gather and find meanings in data gathered from social channels to support business decisions. That's social management or software management or social media analytics. Yes. 26 of you have answered. 17 have given the right answer. Let's see who's the winner on the first round. Yeah, the first place, I think it's Priyanki, Shinka, John, and Fazul, ma'am. Let's move on to the second question quick. What skill does the librarian need to have? It's word cloud. I showed you about word cloud, right? You need to type it down. These are some media analytics tool that you'll be able to post it out. You can also give multiple words. What are the skills that you think that's more important? A few of you are typing it, 2 of you have typed communications, patience, IT. All right. Others? Speed, research. Most of you are giving communication. So you can also give multiple 2 to 3 words also you can give. Okay. Yeah, can you see how even this is analysis as and one you do, you get it. Okay, data science, motivation, skill, book knowledge, current awareness, well said. But most of you have given communication. We move on to, this is not a quiz. That's the second question is just to get insights from you. We move on to the third question for the day. Just we have got 5 questions. Most of you have given communication. From the highest word it takes. The massive amount of data generated by users using social media platforms or big data analytics or personal media. The massive amount of data generated by users. No, most of you will give the right answer. And the right answer is none other than social media platforms. 20 of you have given the right answer. Yeah, because that brings so much of data to it, right? Yeah, most of you have given the right. Priyanki Sinha, like John sir is on the first place, Fasul ma'am second, and Priyanka, I don't know. Dash is a process of reducing words. Oh my god, I didn't speak. How do you reduce words? Say like we have got like jumping, dancing. We don't want ing, right? We reduce that. I'll give you the answer for this, or some of you know. It is stemming. Stemming is the answer for this. We stem your data when you go into analytics. Yeah, most of you have given the right answer. It is stemming. You reduce the words. Stuff, you have given the right answer. Let's see who's we got Priyanki ma'am again, the fastest answer and Faisal. I think the final question, which is going to define the winner for the day. Yeah, final question. Let's see who's going to be the winner for the day. I'm sorry for taking little extra time. Sometimes systems become slow. What does NLP stands for? Yes, you all know it's natural language processing. Most of you have given the right answer. Let's see who's the winner or who's the hero or heroine of the day. There's a strong fight between Priyanki ma'am and John sir. Let's see. And Janita is the fastest. Priyanki, congratulations. I don't know from which place you are. You can put it on to the chat. If we have time, I generally tell people to share the winner to speak few words. We don't have much time. Okay, you can share. Yeah, from Jaipur, Institute Jaipur. Thank you, Priyanki. Congratulations. So I hope the session would have been useful to you. We have learned what are the what and whys of social media analytics. I hope you would have learned something new today. All right. Thank you for this opportunity. And this session also, I've shared it on my YouTube channel. All right. I will share the details to you on the chat. You can find it out. And also, thank you for this opportunity. Hope the session was being useful to you. All right, over to the organizers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a really inspiring session. So we will have a formal vote of thanks.
The father of library science, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, focused on librometry as a tool to understand the effective use of libraries. In line with that, today's session was so relatable to how libraries need to market, application of data analytics, how to analyze the trend line and develop strategies for libraries in respect to social media. Ma'am, thank you so much for enlightening us. We are privileged to have you and to listen to your lecture. Thank you so much, Dr. Doreen.
Welcome. Thank you, Janita. Thank you.
If there are any questions or if our audience would like to interact, have it, ma'am, a few minutes, ma'am. Anybody would like to ask something or would like to interact with Madam Doreen?
Yes, please. I think the next speaker is also, I don't want to eat the time of the next speaker, please. You see, I've shared all my contact details on the chat. Feel free to contact me. we'll have more sessions to interact with you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, HOD sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
so much,
energetic.
ma'am. This is a kind of a new arena for us, so I think we will take some time to get onto it.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, we'll have a 15-minute break, sir, before the next session. Thank you, participants, for being with us. So before the next session starts, we'll have a 15-minute break. Maybe we will join back at 11:50. Sorry.